Chaim. Unmute yourself. Can you unmute? Du Herr, kannst du unmute? Unmute. Press auf die Button von Unmute. Oh. Okay. According to the Roy of the Rebbe, to learn Hilchos Beis HaBchira in the 3 weeks, we have the honor today to have our Choshever, Mechanech, Arav, Chaim, Avraham, הכהן. Please give us insight in how to build the Beis HaMikdash. Avraham, בבקשה. No? Ich höre dich nicht. Okay, no?
Hello?
Du bist am Mute.
Hello? Oh,
Yeah, okay.
jetzt kann man hören. Ja. Yeah. So, we're learning today about this Van Obmer Rebbe, Rabbi Zalman of Ad Mosai.
Wie lange du willst, 15, 20 Minuten.
Yeah, we're learning today about the tzibui of the Torah, the fact that the Torah gives a tzibui to build a mishkan, and it's dafke in a limited place, meaning the Torah, it's all connected with agboles, it's all connected with limitation. The Torah gives us a tzibui to build a mishkan, and Torah says we have to take 13 or 15, 15 inyonim, different things, and from that we have to build a mikdash for the Eibishter. Also the mikdash. And the Eibishter says, the Eibishter is promising, I'm going to rest in that mikdash that you're going to build from this inyonim, I'm going to rest in it. Now, the Eibishter is unlimited. The Eibishter is nish mugbel. The Eibishter, chas v'shalom, to say that the Eibishter is mugbel in a place, chas v'shalom. But however, the Eibishter is promising, I'm going to rest in this very place, that's going to be the mikdash. This is where I'm going to rest. And the Beis HaMikdash, the Mishkan, had to be in a specific shetach, a specific place. That was the Beis HaMikdash. And that was not only in the Beis HaMikdash, that was in a designated place, but also in the Mishkan, even wherever the Eden came. This is where wherever the Eden stopped wherever they traveled, they stopped in a particular place. They built up the Mishkan, and this is that was the place where the Eibishter, the Shechina, was resting. So the question is, the Eibishter is not mugbel. The Eibishter is not limited in place. The Eibishter is not mugbel in mokem chas v'sholem. It says in the pasuk, "Es hashamayim v'sa'oretz ani molei." The Eibishter fills up every single place. So there's no place that jeder Platz, the Eibishter is there. So why is it that the Eibishter is commanding, gives us the tzivui to make a mokem meyuched, a specific place that over there will be the Ashras HaShechina? Now, you could have said, perhaps you need to do certain peulas. The Shechina is everywhere, yes, the Eibishter is stuck everywhere, but it's behelem, it's hidden. And in order to see it more begilui, you need to do certain peulas in order to bring that amshochem into, it should be begilui. But why is it, the question is, why is it that those peulas have to be done in a certain place? Do it anywhere, and it's going to have the ashpah everywhere, whichever place it's going to be. And the ashpah will come everywhere. So for us, Dafman, why is it that we need that the Yid should be doing those peulas dafke in a specific place? And the Rebbe is going to kind of strengthen the question, mechadet sein a bissel, ausscharfen a bissel de Scheile. The Rebbe now speaks, what is one of the avoides that we see that was done in the Beis HaMikdash, one of the ikadike avoides in the Beis HaMikdash, in the Mishkan and the Mikdash given avoides HaKarbones. In avoides HaKarbones, we have two parts. We have the korban begashmias, a beheme al gabe mizbeach, and then we have the avoide of karbones beruchnias, which is today it's the union of tefillah. So we have the main avoide, the main of avoide in the Beis HaMikdash is given. The main avoide in the Beis HaMikdash is given karbones. We think that we have two inyanim. We have the gashmisdike part of the korban, and then we have the ruchnisdike part of the korban, which is tefillah in nowadays. And both of them, side the gashmisdike part of the korban, and side the ruchnisdike part of the korban, both of them we see that it's connected and dafke connected with a place with mokem hamikdash. A gashmisdike korban is the obvious. A korban darf man bringen a beheme al gabe hamizbeach, and you're not, once the Beis HaMikdash was built, you're not allowed to bring a korban anywhere outside of the place of the Beis HaMikdash. So a korban gashmi is connected dafke with this mokem gashmi. Has to be, so the gashmi is the part of the korban is connected dafke with the mokem gashmi with the Beis HaMikdash. But not only that, we look at the ruchnis the part of the korban, which is in our case, in our days, as the union of tefillah, is weiter. That means as tefillah is weiter connected with the mokem hamikdash. Shlomo HaMelech, when he made a special, once Shlomo HaMelech built the Beis HaMikdash, there's all arichas in the psukim that he davened, asking the Eibishter all kind of bakashas about this particular place of the Beis HaMikdash. One of the things he's talking to the Eibishter, he says that if it's going to come to a time that the Eden will be exiled, the Eden will go in Golis, but still the Eden will daven, so that tefillah should go through this place. It says in the pasuk, "V'yispalelu eilecho derech artzon." So it says that the tefillah has to go through Eretz Yisrael, and Eretz Yisrael itself has to go through, by davens in Eretz Yisrael, has to be Panav Yerushalayim, has to be facing Yerushalayim. In Yerushalayim Gufa, he has to be facing the Mokem HaMikdash. So the question is, why is it that we have to connect? If we're talking about tefillah, tefillah is avodah shebelev. It's avodah ruchnis. Why do we have to connect tefillah, which is the ruchnistic part of the korban? Why do we have to connect it with a mokim gashmi, a limited place, which is physical, but mugbel modud begashmis? When we're talking about the karbones, we can still explain somehow. We can still explain when we're talking about the karbones. Favos, the korban, you have to do peulas gashmis. You have to take our gashmis, the beheme, and the amshocha that came through the korban was something we were able to see. Beini basar, a fire came down, a eish min hashamayim came down, a fire zarab gekommen, ate up the karbones. So if the avoide is connected with gashmis, a beheme gashmis, the amshocha, you can see it somehow, it's connected with gashmis. A fire comes down and eats up the karbones. So we can still understand why it's connected with gashmis. A mokem gashmi davke. But now that we're talking about tefillah, tefillah is ainin ruchni legamre. It's completely ruchnius. Not only, when it comes to tefillah, not only the person is not dealing with the psagashmis, the kezar, but he has to bring himself. He has to be makriv, kind of be makriv himself, sich in ganze makriv sein zu dem Ebersten. Yes, it's true that we have the union of dibur. Dibur is like a gashmis, but really the old union of dibur in tefillah is in order koil moirer kavone, it's just to be moirer again. The kavone, the ruchni is the part. So the question is, if tefillah is a union ruchni, why is it that it's connected with a mokem gashmi? So to come to the biur, the Rebbe explains like this: that we have the klal. So to summarize the question is, why is it if we have the Eibishter gives us the tzibur, also limikdash v'shochanti b'soichom, why is it that has to be dafke specifically in a mokem gashmi, and especially when we're talking about tefillah, the union of korbane, the union of tefillah, the ruchni is the part of the korbane is tefillah, why is that connected with a mokem gashmi? So the Rebbe explains like this: we know the klal, kol agovoya beyoser, yored lamato yoser. Anything that is govoya, the higher it is, the lower it's coming down. The fact that the Shochanti Besoichom, the Eibishter says Shochanti Besoichom, that Shochanti Besoichom, the Eibishter with instructions that the Eibishter gives us to build a Mishkan, we see it's connected and dafke verbunden with a Mokem Gashmi, a limited place. That itself, the fact that has to be so low, a Mokem Gashmi, that proves us that we're talking here about a revelation, a gilui of such a madrega of Ashros Elikus, not a regular level of Amshoches Elikus, but rather a Amshoche of a higher level, a higher madrega of Elikus, that to have that revelation, that's possible only Lamato, not only Lamato, but rather even down here has to be Lamato Beyoser. This is because here we're talking about a Amshoch of a higher level in Elikus. Das heißt, dass der Eibishter ist amiti, der Eibishter ist amiti is a bli gvul. Der Eibishter is bli gvul. Der Eibishter is, to say, infinite. And if that's the case, the Eibishter is amiti is a bli gvul. The Eibishter is not mugbel and in any agbolis. Not the Eibishter is not mugbel, not in mokoim. You can't define the Eibishter. Not for sure can define the Eibishter in Mokoim, and it can't also define the Eibishter in Lamaila Mokim. When we say it's Lamaila Mokim, is this weiter a kind of a, you're defining it by the fact that it's Lamaila Mokim, that it's not Mokim, it's not a Gvul. Just like with Mokim, with Gvul, with Mokim, with the limitations of Mokim, you can't reach and onchappen, Teufel sein dem Eibishten, the same thing with the limitations of Lamaila Mokim, we can't be Teufel the Eibishter with that either. By the end of the day, when we say that it's Lamaila Mokim, it's again a definition. You're defining it, saying it's defining certain agbolas. The very fact that he's mugbel in bligvul, and he doesn't have the union of a gvul. And the Eibishter is higher than any description of any limitation. So saying Lamaila Mokim wouldn't be, is still agbola. So where can we have the Ashros HaShchina? Ashros HaShchina we can only have in a place that it's coming together. The Gvul and the Bli Gvul, the Mokim and the Lamaila Mokim is joining together, they're merging together. This is what, in a place that we can have the combination of the two. The Ma'achet Zayin, the Gvul and the Lamaila Gvul, the Bli Gvul, the Mokim and the Lamaila Mokim, and that has to be done, and that can be done only in the Koyach of Atzmus. The Koyach of Atzmus is Boris. The Eibishter is a Nimna Nim noise, and the Eibishter can connect and is connecting two opposites. So it can sein Mokim, Lamaila Mokim, Gvul, Bli Gvul, and the Eibishter Atzmus is Boris is not limited in all of that, and he can connect it and as Mechaber Afochim. And that is the Chidush in Mishkan and Mikdash. What's the Chidush? From one end, when we're looking at the Mishkan, yes, it was limited. It had to be in a certain place, and within that place had to be certain measurements. When it comes to the Mishkan, the Yeriah is at a certain exact measurement. How many Yeriahs? What's the length? What's the width? Jeder Sach had a Gebola. The same thing in the kroshim, the adonim, everything, the structure of the Beis Hamikdash, there was limitations. The same thing is with the kelim of the Mishkan. The kelim of the Mishkan and the Mikdash is eichet. Everything was limited. Everything was exact. The measurements were exact. It says in Rambam how they would weigh it, weighing it one by one, and then when they would weigh it one by one, and they would weigh it all together, and still it would all come to the same exact measurement. Now we come to but at the same time, yes, it was limited. It was an exact measurement. But at the same time, what we were able to see in the Mishkan and the Mikdash begolui, le'inei basar, we were able to see that it's higher than Gvul, higher than any limitations. It says in the Mishnah, in Avos, Asora Nisim, that happened in the Beis Hamikdash, so there was Nisim. Especially when we come in the Kodesh HaKadoshim, which is the Iker of the Beis Hamikdash, it says that Mokoi Ma'oroin Einei Min Amida. So you're talking about the Oroin, which took place. It was a Masayim V'Chetzi. It had a measurement, but at the same time, it didn't take up any place, any space in those 20 amos. The size of the Kodesh HaKadoshim, it didn't take up any place. And that is only able to happen in the koyach of Atzmus. The koyach of Atzmus is borech that can connect the two afachim, the mokoim and the bli mokoim, both together. Now we can come back and answer. With that, we'll understand and explain the reason, the answer to what we spoke before. Why is it that the korbanos and tefillah are connected with Mokim Hamikdash? Why does it have to be with Mokim? We said if it's a ruchnisdik azach, let it be in any place. And from Dortmund, from wherever it happens, it'll be Mamshich. Why does it have to be Konav Lamikdash? Why does it have to build Dafke in a certain particular place? And the answer is that this avoided, the avoid of korbanos. What's the avoid of korbanos and tefillah? The avoid is what the idea is that we have to reach a level of elokus that is higher than any toya, higher than any description, and we can't even define him by saying bligvul. When we are davening, we are reaching to that level of elokus that is higher than any limitation. Hecher von jeder toya, and therefore has to be. In order to reach that level, has to be avoided. It has to be connected with agbole. With what kind of agbole? Agbole of lemata beyoser. We'll say it in the other way around. We'll say it in different words. If tefillah would not have to be in a particular place, yes, we would be able to be mamshich alekus, but not that level of alekus. It's not atzmusa isborech. We wouldn't be reaching that high. The expression of atzmusa isborech is specifically when we have the connection of lemailo min hamokoim with mokoim. So that explains why is it that it has to be davening, it's connected with a mokoim gashmi, with all the agbolas, because the fact that it's coming down. So with that, we'll also explain. Now we're talking between the Mishkan and Mikdash itself. The Mikdash, the Beis Hamikdash, was on a higher level. Favos, going back to the same point, if we're saying that in order to have the Lamailo Yoser, Kol HaGavoya Beyoser, Yored Lamato Yoser, where was Mato Yoser? Mato Yoser was more in Mikdash and Beis Hamikdash than in Mishkan, Favos. In both Inyanim, the place and where it was built and with what it was built. The Mishkan was built, the Mishkan wasn't only in one specific place. It wouldn't be always in one particular place. When they stopped in a certain place, sure, but it could have been in different places. It could be sometimes here, sometimes there. So it wasn't only in one particular place. What did they build the Mishkan with? They built most of the binyan of the Mishkan is given from Doime, from Tzemeach and from Chai, which is higher in Yoni within the Bria, but not the Mata B'Yoser. Dafke, when it comes to Beis HaMikdash, the Beis HaMikdash, we're talking about Mokoim, it was in one particular place. Once it was built there, it was in one particular place, and what was it built with? It was built with Avonim, which is within it's the Doimim, which is the lowest level of within the Bria, and that's why it was able to be Mamshich, Dorten given the MS Ashras Lekus, that was that's the Lamaila Yosef, the Atmos were able to be Mamshich Dafke in that place. The Rebbe finishes off saying that we have also the Nia Veshachanti Besoicham, and an interesting point. The Rebbe says, if we're taking this Malach HaMachshavi, if we take this Mahalach a step further, comes always that when we're talking about our Veshachanti Besoicham that we make, Veshachanti Besoicham within ourselves is Nochecher, is even higher than, in a sense, it's higher than what we had in the Mishkan and Mikdash, Favos, because even the Mokim HaMikdash, the Gashmias, yes, it was Gashmias, it was limited, but you can't compare this matter of the Mishkan and Mikdash to any other Gashmias things that we have out there in the world, Favos, because those things were not chosen to be the Mokim HaMikdash, so they are on a lower level. So when a Yid goes and macht, he takes his Gashmias, whatever Gashmias he's dealing with, he makes it, macht dort as sein bechol rochecha de EU, brings in a Gettlichkeit, it should be visible, macht es a Mitzvah, a Sudas Shabbos, and as weiter, bringt man the Kedusha down in such a way that should be the proper preparation for the Beis HaMikdash HaShlishi. Shkoyach Haba Zalmanov, Koltov.
Shkoyach everybody for listening. In Yirtzeh Hashem, the Siyum will take place in the Shul, Beis HaMedrash at 9:30. We'll be able to see it on the Zoom also. So where anybody wants to see it live, they should go to the Shul. The Siyum will be given today by Chosis, Chanech, Rav Chaim Baruch, Teitelbaum. Shkoyach. See you.